What's going on, Eagles family? I hope everyone's having a very enjoyable Victory Monday. Now, you've seen it throughout the timeline. A lot of people don't want to be happy about it, whatever the feeling is. You know I don't give a damn. The Eagles got a win, so it's Victory Monday for me, and I'm feeling damn good. So thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I, of course, am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I'm feeling good today. That's all I've been asking for all year. And look, maybe a little too late. Maybe this adds a lot more questions to our plate that maybe we don't really want to answer at this time, because we're trying to feel good. And look, I'm living in the moment. I'm enjoying it. I wanted to see a win because we've only had 3 all season. And, this year sucks. Everybody knows it. 2020 blows. So I thought maybe some wins would make us feel better. But at this point, we're at the end of the road here. And, we just needed a change. We talked about needing a spark, needing someone to come in. And, well, that change of quarterback was the option that, at halftime during the Green Bay Packers, Doug Peterson made. And we talked about it during that game. At halftime, would Jalen Hurts get his chance? And he did. And then he gets named the starter. And, everybody talks about how he didn't have a chance against the New Orleans Saints D. And, everybody wants to talk about the things he did wrong. And sure, he did a lot wrong. But dear God, the whole team seemed to rally around him. You heard Miles Sanders talk about the fact that he was a leader. I don't know what that says to Carson Wentz, but people, played harder and they won out and they won the damn game. And they talk about the Saints, they won 9 games in a row. They hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in 55 games. And we had 2 of them, our running back and our quarterback. Now, you don't necessarily want your quarterback running like that all the time, but dude, it's a good damn defense. And with our 12th different starting offensive line in 13 games, he had to move around a little bit. He threw the ball away when he needed to. He did not, the offensive line and himself did not allow 1 sack. There were 0 sacks from the top pressure rate since week 9, blah, 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 whatever you want to hear. Who cares? They lost. And, everybody was talking so much trash. Those Saints fans, they love to talk trash. Well, guess what? Haven't heard much. Haven't heard anything, actually. And it's got to suck. They talk so much smack about how they were going to beat us, how they could have beat us in 17, blah, 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 blah. Well, you just lost to our backup quarterback, so how's that feel? What's going on, Malcolm? Thanks for tuning in, man. If Hurts wins us the division, man, oh, man, Malcolm, I couldn't agree more. This is a scenario we talked about. This division sucks. And, I've actually got a graphic here of the division. We'll bring that up for you. Look, this team, we're sitting in 3rd at 4-8-1. That's pretty embarrassing. But right in front of you, you got 6 wins at the top. Washington, if they lose the next couple games, we control our destiny to try to beat them. Sure, we could definitely win this division, but I don't know. I know a lot of people don't want to win this division. They want a higher draft pick. And the thing is, in this division, you're looking at either a top 10 pick or you're looking at the 18 to 20 range. Now that's, you're talking a big change. Now, I think our bigger issue is who's drafting. Is someone in there helping Howie? Because we've talked about this. Getting a football-minded guy in the room with Howie, I think, would be beneficial for this entire team, as we all know very well and can see from what's been happening. So the team finally found a spark. It is what it is. And look, I want to see a win. I started the video off telling you guys I'm excited because we got the win. Doesn't necessarily mean that, I feel this team could right now go in and do all these magical things. I think Jalen Hurts is the future. I'm not going to go that far right now. I will say that it made me pretty damn excited to watch Jalen Hurts, and I think this kid has a pretty damn bright future. So if he works on his mechanics throwing the ball, and that's something we talked about as a rookie, was he going to be able to do that? Well, he's had his struggles, but dude, who cares? Having that versatility with his feet. You look at Lamar Jackson, not exactly the best at throwing the ball. He still gets things done. He's doing it right now against the Browns. But look, I think Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. Carson Wentz is a great quarterback. So this gives us a very big problem. Now, we're going to find out what he does the next 3 games. Arizona doesn't necessarily have the best defense. They have some playmakers on defense. So we're going to see, how he does going against Kyler Murray. It's going to be a great matchup. Then you look at Dallas, not a good defense. Hopefully he can tear them up. And then you finish it off with Washington, who has a pretty damn good defense, as we know very well. So he's got 3 games to prove himself, and we're going to find out if, we're shipping him off in the future, trying to get something for him, if he proves that he's worth a first-round pick, if somebody really likes him, or if we don't feel confident in Carson Wentz and you want to trade Carson. I mean, this is going to be the talk of the entire offseason, so it's going to come down to how well does he play the next few games. But to start off against the Saints, a pretty damn good defense, one of the best in the league right now, that's a pretty damn good start. So you heard that Doug said yesterday after the game that, well, I don't know who the starter is here, but, we'll blah, 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 whatever. Look, Doug, we knew what you were going to say today, and today he said it. Jalen Hurts was named the starting quarterback. So against the Cardinals, big surprise there. Yeah, the kid played lights out. Sure, he had plenty of problems. He was like 17 for 30, had like 169 yards maybe. And he got it done on the ground, 115 rushing yards, Well, wait. What was it? Like 106. They took some of his yards away for him kneeling the ball. I think Miles had 115. But either way, they were both over 100. Great stuff. And this kid was bound to be named the starter because you already benched Wentz. And Wentz was looking not good in this offense. Nobody else seemed to play for him, and didn't seem that you wanted to run the plays necessarily that worked for Carson. I think they did, but they just, to an extent, we talk about how much Doug, his flaws, but I think sometimes he was calling the right plays, but some of the receivers weren't getting open. The offensive line wasn't blocking, and it's not necessarily to say that it was all on anyone, because we talk about it being a problem as a whole. But sometimes when you make that change in the locker room, like Doug did, hey, Jalen Hurts brought that spark, dude. And you saw guys were pumped. They were confident, and they went in and they beat them. I still, man, we talked about before the game, I thought they could do it. I really felt confident that this team, if they rallied around them, we talk every week about finding some damn heart. But what you had to do was establish the run, and then you could do all that, dude. And we finally did that. Now, in the second half, people talk about them coming back and, oh, yeah, the Eagles suck, blah, blah, blah. Look, our entire defense got hurt. Like, everybody was out. So it's just, it was rough. It was to see everybody getting, and we'll talk about those injured players in a second here. But I think it's going to be Doug and Hurts, or Wentz and a new coach next year. Well, I think it could be still Doug and Wentz. I think you just need to bring in, once you lost Frank Reich, you talk about people like John DeFilippo, even if people liked Mike Groh and didn't think he was the problem. There's plenty of blame to go around, but you could see Doug Peterson's not handling things very well by himself. He has too much on his plate, and I think it's just been a constant struggle. And this whole year has been a wreck, and we try to figure it out. We try to break it down. We try to point fingers at where could be the issues, and it comes down to everywhere. Literally, every single place you look, you're like, well, I mean, we talk about the offensive line. Oh, they gave up 0 sacks. Well, Hurts helped that along too, but they played great. But if you guys remember, go back to the tapes. Which offensive line did I want? We talked about in the bye. I thought Mailata coming out should be left tackle, not Jason Peters. That was a huge mistake. I thought Urbig should hold down the right guard and Driscoll at right tackle if Lane were not to be good to go. Lane came back. Turned out he was out for the season then, so Driscoll should have just been there. Urbig at right guard. Kelsey at center. Sam Allo at left guard. So now that's where we are, and 0 sacks, and we're winning. Oh, just trying to say that those young guys needed to be in there. I thought it was better than JP with any kind of any combination of him in there. I didn't think was good. So we talked about this, and 0 sacks given up. Mad props to the offensive line. Props to the receivers for doing some things, I guess, the tight ends. But Miles Sanders, baby. Love it, love it, love it. So I'm happy that we ran the ball. You guys know I talk about it every day. I'm going to get it tattooed on my damn head and go to every game. Doug, run the ball. I don't understand how we have to sit here and ask for it every week. You finally do it, and you're winning. I don't get it. Miles averaged 8.3 yards per carry yesterday. He just keeps averaging. It's just okay, dude. It's the proof is in the pudding, man. Doug, too much dip on his chip. Yeah, man. And that's this guy. He sometimes, dude, I feel you could see it in his press conferences. He just has too much on his plate, too much dip on his chip. I just really feel that an offensive coordinator, even just giving the play calling to Deuce, Rich Scangarello, somebody else, just help out. He said, I gave a couple plays to Press Taylor. Good for you, dude. Let somebody else come up with the game plan. You could talk with them, figure it out with them. You are the head coach. If there's a third down, a fourth down, a play before halftime, end of the game that you feel that I need to make the play call, make play call. You're the head coach. That's fine. But why? It feels like there's this competition, we'll say. I almost went with some bad slang there, but there's a competition here going on between Howie and Doug as to who is the smartest guy in the room. And now Howie's got to have control and Doug's got to have control, and everybody. It just seems to be this disconnect between the front office, the coaches, the players. It's just not good. And then, you can't just cover it up, by Jalen Hurts. Okay, everything's fine and dandy. We're good to go. Oh, we've got major issues here, guys, and we're going to be talking about that for the next few weeks and offseason. Going to be interesting to see how Hurts does once the cat is out of the bag. And that right there in itself is a great point, because you have to talk about people not seeing much from these guys. And sure, you can watch college tape, you can think whatever, but you have to see how a team is going to use them. Well, now teams know how we're going to use Jalen Hurts. They have 6 quarters worth of tape. They're going to do all they can, and as the quarters grow, the more teams learn. And I'm not saying that this kid can't grow and get better, so that's the good thing. The thing is, if he is only a mobile quarterback, you see that doesn't always last. When people figure you out, it doesn't. It's nice to be mobile and have a cannon. So this kid seems to have them both. He just needs to really work on things. But look, we're talking about week 14 in his first year with like the most shortened, weird offseason, no preseason. And this was his first career start. So mad props to him against the Saints defense that was terrorizing people, So well done to him, man. But it's going to be interesting to see how teams try to adjust and what they can do. We're going to see what the Cardinals do. They've got some playmakers over there. Buda Baker, Patrick Peterson, Isaiah Simmons. We'll see what this team does next week, but we're going to have some tough questions here. So we'll see. Remember when Tebow, Kaepernick, look, RG3, these guys come and go a lot of times because they don't progress in the area of throwing the ball. You got to be able to do it all. Patrick Mahomes can do it all. He's not much mobile. He's a big dude, but he can do it all, where you're just like, what? You got to be afraid of it. And I think if Hurts can dude, he's a monster too. He's pound for pound one of the strongest dudes on the team. I watched him squat like 300 pounds in college. Like, this dude, he's a tank, and you see him when he's running the ball. He's like a running back. My buddy Luke over at 4th and John, he did this little statistical thing, where his measurements and all this stuff, it looked like him to be a running back or linebacker, and it's just like, holy hell, like he's a big dude. But yeah, you can't run 15 times, I believe it was. They had him rushing. 3 of those were kneel downs, so that lost some yards and added some rushes. Brought his average down, though. But yeah, they add those as rushes. That's such a stupid thing. But yeah, man, you can't have him running the ball 15 times. I mentioned that at the beginning of the video, Jeffrey, but great point. You don't want that from your quarterback. And as was just mentioned, let's see what happens once defense start catching on to that. You got guys like Isaiah Simmons, Hassan Reddick that can spy, Jalen Hurts. And we're going to see what this team, not saying that Saints couldn't do that. They had Mario Davis, Quan Alexander, Malcolm Jenkins was there. But, this is something that happens with a lot of guys, but who cares? A lot of guys actually get better. And, not a lot, but it's more that don't. But honestly, I have faith in the kid. I want him to get better. I want nothing but the best for him. And I did after the fact that we drafted him. I hated that we drafted him. I hated that how he did that. I thought we should have got more help. And it could have been in the form of a receiver, offensive lineman, could have been Jeremy Chin, could have been a corner. I desperately wanted an outside corner, a linebacker, a safety. I mean, there's so mmany things. You don't know if McLeod's going to come back. Now he's out. Jalen Mills. I mean, this is just too much. Yeah, I know, man. But for a quarterback, for a guy, you know what I mean? Pound for pound is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I can't squat that. But, he, as, a quarterback, he really seems like a running back, linebacker type build. And look, I hope that he can progress and get better with his reads and do things like that. And yeah, definitely prayers up to Rodney. But, this is something that we talked about. If he gets thrown in the fire, is it going to be a problem? Well, he did pretty well against the Saints. So, hey, man, great for you. There was a lot of people doubting him, and I think he really took that to heart. And the kid looks like a competitor. We talked about that for the game. Is he going to bring that, competitiveness to everyone else? That was the key. And Think so. And that's the thing, Jeffrey. It opens up the passing games when teams actually have to worry about it. Carson Wentz, they're just worried about him. He can get out of the pocket now, but now they just have him stay in the pocket. He gets out, he loops right back into it. Oh, let me just wait around until I get sacked, or I can throw a stupid ass throw and an interception or a fumble. And look, I don't know what's going on with him mentally. I know he's better than that, but it's just this guy brings a whole new facet to the game where people, holy shit, what are we going to do? And if we actually run the ball, then they got to fear us running the ball too, which, man, that would have really helped if you did that with Carson Wentz. But I regress. I asked every damn week for that, and we got nothing. So, the Eagles, here we are. Here we are going into week 15, and you're finally talking about running the ball. It's asinine at this point. But, yeah, if that can open up the passing game, if these younger guys can keep getting better. Alshon Jeffrey was out there again. He caught that one pass for a touchdown. I really think Fulgham, Rager, if you're getting Quez Watkins out there, I know John Hightower sat, but you got to see what you got from these young guys because we're going into the draft needy of plenty of positions. And I know a lot of people want wide receiver. Jamar Chase looks great. Devontae Smith, some of these guys are great. But who knows what this Eagles team is going to really, truly need because – who knows? Is Jason Kelce going to retire? Are we going to need offensive linemen? What's going on with Brandon Brooks, Lane Johnson? Like, dear God. Andre Dillard's over there at left tackle. He can compete with Mailata, so that's good. I think we have that position. There's a competition there. The tight ends, are we going to trade Hurts? There's so many questions coming up. Receiver, do we need another one? Fulgham, Rager, not going to get it done. I think you need another big-time receiver, but do you go in the first? Do you go in the second? Do you try to trade out with your first-round pick, get a lower-end first-round pick and get more? Another third or second or whatever you can do. We got to load up on draft picks and we got to load up on younger talent because this team is old as hell and we are in cap hell next year. So, dude, we better figure it out. And that's on Howie, which we know he put us in this one. So it's just like, dear God. Nab started out as more runner than passer, and then coaching receivers will determine a lot. Yes, Wes, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. There's guys that do turn out pretty well. Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham, that Eagles have had on their team. You know what I mean? So I think that this team has some good coaching, but they've obviously had their heads in other places and, call ourselves a quarterback factory. But it's like, look, Jalen Hurts looked all right. If he can get better, if he can learn to use those skills and also, make his reads and do, the kid could. That's scary. He's an athlete, dude, and he's a competitor. And I think that he really, really has a chance to do great things in the NFL. And this gives the Eagles a very tough decision to make in this offseason. And we're going to see what he does these last 3 games. One thing we know is the kid loves to work. That's the truth, Wes. That's all I've asked for is these kids to come out driven with some heart and act like they actually give a damn. Well, they look like they give a damn, and they look like they wanted to win, and, well, they went out and won. So I can't ask for anything else. I think Carson isn't made for Doug Moore. I don't know, man. I think he did pretty well in that system. He looked like an MVP quarterback a few years ago. Then he brought along the scrubs while injured. Then the next year he brought us back to the playoffs again. 3 years of doing that with craziness. I don't know how he did it, but Doug and Carson did it together. So I don't think it's completely broken. There's just something missing there, man. And I don't know if it's how he really poisoned this whole thing from the get with this draft or what it really is. But, dude, we've been talking about these things for months. It's just bad to see. I think Doug's a good coach. I think Carson's a good quarterback. So maybe there is a disconnect. Maybe something happened. We don't know. Maybe Carson isn't that quarterback we thought he was as a leader, So I don't know, man, what's going to happen. But, this is nuts. Eagles coaches want it their way. Yeah, maybe, some Chip Kelly stuff going on again. And look, I understand it. You want your system to run a certain way and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, we've talked about it. You got to roll Carson out. You got to run screens. You got to run the ball to establish. All year we begged for it. Simplified things. Do things that help Carson. Use his skill set to our advantage. I don't know. Instead, they try to keep him in the pocket. Then he's making dumb decisions. I think he's thinking too much about what the coaches want rather than just making plays. And, when he has wide open plays, people say, like, oh, we're still missing it. It's like he's got too much going on, dude. You can see it. He's thinking about, I'm dead. Within a second, he's usually getting hit. Jalen Hurts found a way to get out of there right away. That was awesome. It was amazing. I loved every second of it. So I just wanted to see it win. It was so awesome to sit there with my family, to jump up, feel the joy of the Eagles winning. And trust me, I know that the future now is like, what are we doing? I don't know, but there's 2 quarterbacks that I really like. And that makes me happy because one of them's going to have to come out and find something. And it looks like Jalen Hurts already found that something deep inside. Carson's going to have to pull something out because, hey, man, there's a guy that's coming for your job if you don't figure it out. Now, I did want to go over a few of the injury. I mentioned Rodney McLeod being out. That's out for the season, and that's very, very unfortunate. Guy's a true leader. You know, he goes out and balls for us. He is someone who essentially, you know, we talk about Jalen Mills taking over the role for Malcolm Jenkins. Well, Rodney McLeod was doing it all for us, really stepping in, doing great things. Sad to see him go out for the season. So, we just can't win with this stuff, man. We really can't. And I love Rodney, and I hope him nothing but the best. I know this is his final year on his contract. We'll see if he comes back. I'd love to see him back. I love the dude. But, hey, we got to get younger. We got Kayvon Wallace, Graylin Arnold. These guys are going to have to step it up this week. We're going to see what they've got. A lot of young guys that we've been asking for are going to get their chance to shine. Also mentioned was Avonte Maddox was going to miss some time. No real timetable yet. Tomorrow we'll get more of the actual timetables on these guys. Malik Jackson, they had asked, but then the stream got messed up, and then they didn't go back to it. So I don't know what's going on with Malik Jackson. Josh Sweat, they said, was okay. Great news. Josh Sweat was balling out. You know, we are big fans of Josh Sweat here at On the Road to Victory. So love to see that yesterday. Darius Slay, unfortunately, is in the concussion protocol. My God, hopefully that, you know, this has happened again now this year. Hopefully he gets all right. I don't think he will be playing against DeAndre Hopkins and the Cardinals. So we're going to have to score a lot of points. We're going to have to hope that this defense can step it up. Michael Jacquet, somebody I was excited about this offseason as an undrafted free agent. We talked about him getting a chance in the Dallas game when Darius Slay went out. Well, it looks like he might get a chance again because Avonte Maddox is missing some time. Didn't like him on the outside anyway, but now you're slim pickings here, dude. You saw Kayvon Seymour, who just signed to the practice squad like a week ago. He was brought up. He was playing. Jalen Mills might have to move back to corner, which you probably will. You'll see Kayvon Wallace at safety. Graylin Arnold getting some safety. But Marcus Epps will start in place of Rodney McLeod. Still going to see a lot of young guys. We're going to find out what depth we have. And that's all I wanted at the end of the year. And if we lose, I'm going to be pissed. But I just want to see this team fight, and I want to be able to learn things about them. And when they're fighting, they give a lot of hope for the future that we're not too far off from the things we have to change here. Not sold. It was only one game. Let's see what happens last three. Yeah, man, and that's the thing. It's not that I'm not sold. He had a good game. I saw it with my own eyes. I watched it, and he had some issues. He struggled for sure, but, dude, that was against the Saints defense. That's really, really, really good. So that's understandable from anybody. But the fact that he went out, won the game, did what it took to win the game, it was more than impressive in your first career start. I mean, love it. So, but I'm not, like I said at the beginning of this video, you probably missed it, Jeffrey, but I mentioned, you know, I'm not going to sit here and crown the kid the future of the Eagles and say that, you know, Doug's gone out. All these things that people are saying right now, it's like, look, man, I'm very excited for him, and he is good, but let's see what he does these last three games, guys. Like, let's ride with him, but let's not jinx him. Let's not put too much on the kid's plate. Like, oh, there it is. We knew it. It's like, hey, let's pull her back for a sec. Giants fans have serious doubts on Daniel Jones. I think Washington got the division. Well, Washington is definitely a great defense. We talked about that at the beginning of the year. People wanted to sleep on that. We got our ass kicked. Sure, we didn't have Lane or Miles in that game. But, you know, Giants, they have a problem with Daniel Jones just like Carson Wentz. But Carson was a lot better than Daniel in the beginning. So, hey, good for them. Anyways, Washington had Alex Smith. It doesn't seem to be a serious injury. So if they have to go to Dwayne Haskins, I know Brandon Allen's still banged up. So we'll see what happens with Washington. But Antonio Gibson probably be back soon. Got McKissick. They got Scary Terry there. They've got a decent team, but their defense is what keeps them alive. We're going to have to hope our defense kicks it up a notch again. Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde with this damn defense. But if we can keep running the ball, we can beat anybody, man. But yeah, this is what we talk about week to week. So I never give up. I always just want to sit here and watch my birds, but I keep things realistic. You know, we don't get our hopes up when this team's playing horribly. But this week we talked about if it were Carson playing, I'd come out and tell you we're probably going to lose. We probably would have saw Carson get annihilated. So to say before the game that Jalen Hurts is a different spark and he provides that what if that we could probably win. And then you see it, it's like, well, he provides that, man. And it's not like it goes away on a week-to-week basis. Like, this kid is talented. So we'll see. Alex could miss some time. Yeah, not a serious injury, but Jones hasn't made any improvement. I like Joe Judge. Yeah, he came from the Patriots tree there. Yeah, but the Giants, I thought that they would be more competition because they had Saquon Barkley. So clearly they lost a key player, Dak Prescott for the Cowboys. That gruesome injury. They're at the bottom of the division, so it's crazy to see Washington at the top. The team I thought that would be at the bottom is at the top. This whole year has been hell, so it's going to be tough to watch who's winning the Super Bowl. I couldn't tell you. Andy has a great chance, though, to definitely do it again. That team is woo-wee. I'll tell you what, they're put together, and that's what we were trying to build. How he was trying to get cute and just add speed, and not realizing what he's doing. He's just drafting. I think he was having too many wine coolers that morning and got a little ahead of himself on day 2. But it is what it is. Do I think the Eagles can win the Super Bowl? I always think the Eagles can win the Super Bowl. Now, to be realistic, right now, this team has a pretty long way to go if they have any chance of winning a Super Bowl. Now, Jalen Hurts provides a spark. If you could get Rager, you could get all these guys. If Alshon Jeffrey does have something in the tank and it's just taking him some time to get back, hey, maybe he provides something in the red zone. Ertz and Goddard getting that 12 personnel rolling. Hey, we still have those weapons we talked about at the beginning of the year that I thought could compete for a Super Bowl. So if this offensive line is clicking, if we keep it the way I thought it should have been, if these guys stay healthy, then I think, this offense can do anything. Now, the defense, we've had major issues. Vontae Maddox sucks on the outside. Well, he's going to be out. Who knows what's going to happen with Darius Slay, as you see here. So we play some pretty good receivers coming up in the next few weeks. So Darius Slay being out, that's a tough one. Now, the safeties being out, also tough. The defensive line, though, if they can keep stepping it up the way they did, Javon Hargrave, Feasting, Josh Sweat, I love it, man. That's what we need to see. So I'm never going to say that we're out of it. It's just we've got about 5% chance. And I'm all about, so you're saying there's a chance, because they told us we couldn't make the playoffs the last couple of years, and we proved them wrong in that aspect. But if we want to win any kind of Super Bowl, man, we are going to have to dig deep and find something. And if they do become a team that somehow finds that spark, they win out and they win the division, they go in, surprise someone, they get hot. That's all you need. Once you get in the playoffs, you're 0-0. Win or go home. And you never know, but we've got a long way to go from there. Luckily, you have 3 weeks to figure out what you've got in Jalen Hurts. And, hey, man, I've seen crazier things happen. I've seen Big Ben, Tom Brady do it in their young careers. I wouldn't be surprised by, there's so many things that I've seen in life that you never see coming. Giants winning the Super Bowl a couple times against Patriots, never thought that would happen. So, I'm not going to give up. I definitely will be rooting for my Birds every Sunday. I know a lot of people you got to root for the draft pick. I've never once ever rooted against the Eagles on a Sunday, and I never, ever will. What I root for is wherever we're drafting, I hope Howie or whoever it is, Louis Riddick, I hope that they make the correct pick. So whether we're at 6 or 8 or 9 or 20, I just want to make a good pick. And maybe we trade back, like I said earlier. Maybe if we're at 15 or something, we trade up. You never know what the Eagles could do. So I'm just trying to be positive about my team because we at least got to win it. And you see some people I can't believe you're celebrating a win. It's like, look, dude, I need something in my life, and I live for my Birds. I bleed green. So, yes, that joy with my family, those touchdowns every time, just double high fives. Dude, I loved it. I love every second of it, and that's what I live for, dude. That's what I fight for. So, I love watching my Birds, and I love watching them fight. So, if they do that, that's all I ask for. If they would have lost with that fight, I would have been okay with it. But they got the win. So, I'm going to enjoy it. You ain't going to take that from me. And I am really sorry whatever's going on in your life if you feel that you can enjoy this win. Look, there are problems on the horizon. The team probably going to be bad, probably going to have some issues here or there in the offseason. That's great. Whatever they say, who cares what they say? The Eagles will hopefully figure it out. We can do our thing. I get that, there's a lot of negativity and whatever. But look, every Sunday, all I watch the Eagles for is to watch them win. Now, the end goal is to see that Super Bowl again. Of course. But, a win doesn't hurt. a win helps build the confidence of the young guys. And you might think, it hurts what you think is the draft pick that you're going to get, or maybe the Eagles mess it up if they get to the spot you're at. You have no idea what could happen. So let's just try to root for our birds, and whatever happens, happens. But I like a win. I'm just not sure how other people don't want that. But we can win Sunday in Seattle. Yeah, that's the thing. They can, and they will beat them. So it's on, baby. I'm feeling it. I know it. Hurts is going to do this. We're like, oh, God, we got ourselves some problems here, man. And whatever, man. And, yeah, the tanking philosophy does not work. You've seen it in basketball. Trust the process. But, I mean, it doesn't work here. And if you try to tell someone that plays football, all right, guys, let's go on out there and lose this one, it doesn't happen. For anyone that's played football, you know that when you hit that field, you're taking someone's head off. And to believe it or not, I actually think I used to play a little bit more mean when we were out of playoff contention. When we were down and out, it was like, I'm going to make sure you don't make it to the playoffs. Or if you are, you're going to go in not feeling too well when I knock your head off. So I don't know where people get this mindset, but you can kind of tell half the time they've probably never played the game, because that's truly not the thinking that goes down there. I'm going to be real with you. Scouting, coaching, and luck, like Mahomes draft. Well, that's the thing. It's not necessarily luck, but yeah, in a sense it is. It's, the luck that this person pans out. You got to hope that they do what they got to do to progress, get better, and fit the system that you thought they would. So there's so much going on with the scouting and coaching, and so many voices with management, ownership, and there's so many players to choose from. So I get it. It's crazy, but I don't give a damn, man. I sit here year in and year out and scout these players, and we have chances to take some of them, pass up on them, and then you watch them become superstars. Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. So the scouting department seems to do what they need to half the time, but it doesn't seem that Howie wants to play along. So we got to fix that in the offseason. Maybe we got to bring in somebody for Doug. There's a lot of things we've talked about, and this doesn't fix that. This isn't like all the problems have gone away where everything's fine now. It's not it, man. But it does make me feel good. This is Victory Monday. I get to talk about the Eagles win, and I get to talk about it all week. I get to tell the Saints fans how much they suck now. Oh, what was that? Who dey? The team that lost to a backup. That's who. Now, we get ready for the Cardinals this week, so we're going to be breaking it down. We're going to have some guests on this week, so we're going to be enjoying it. I'm going to try to spread that positivity and at least get through this season, because this year sucked. It has been nothing compared to anything I've ever seen because of how much we expected from this team. So it's been a huge letdown, guys. Just trying to ride with the team. And I love seeing Jalen Hurts ball out, dude. But I love Carson too, so don't get me wrong. It's just I want to see the Eagles win. This is what it's all about. Now, one more move that was made today. Taken off of Washington's practice squad. You got 6'5", 315-pound offensive lineman. Played center, played a little guard, left guard, I believe it was. Over there in Alabama. I think you've heard of that school. Yeah, and he played with Jalen Hurts. You got it right, ladies and gentlemen. Ross Pierschbacher. He was a 5th-round draft pick, I believe it was, by the Washington football team. And, yeah, he's been sitting on their practice squad this year, so we took him. Now, Washington did the same with Casey Toohill, so ha. Hopefully this kid, maybe he could be a guard or center that could compete. You never know with linemen. Always find diamonds in the rough, so we'll see. We will see. So, yeah, great move. I know, right? You guys are super excited about Ross Pierschbacher. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. So sorry, Ross, if you're out there watching. Pierschbacher. I don't know how else you would say it. So we're just going to roll with it, dude. Welcome to the family. Hopefully you can provide something, but just depth, because I don't want to see any more injuries. 12 different starting lineups out of 13 is enough for me. All right, guys, try to wallow in this joy. I guess you wouldn't wallow in it, but, enjoy it. Live it up. We don't have many. It's been 4 in 14 weeks. So try to enjoy it. Who knows if we'll get any more. Got a tough test against Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, and the Cardinals next Sunday. So let's strap up, see what Jalen Hurts can do. I'm excited, though, that excitement of what if. So here we go again. But I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. If you need anything, you can always reach out, whether it be about football, anything, always here for you guys. Hope you guys are staying as sane as you can through all of this. Seriously, it's back to lockdown central. So Truly reach out if you need anything. But I'm going to get rolling out.